Put your red shirt on and a brown coat too. Everybody's joining the crew. We got just one ring, let we rule them all. Hope you'll remember your towel. Get your Uru feathers and your Middle guns. A sonic screwdriver or a sword +1. Use Valerian steel if it will get you to come. To the pit tank. To the pit tank. The Rocky Mountain pit tank.
Hi, I'm Guy.
Hi, I'm Alex.
And this is Geek Tank. The we don't know who's supposed to say the joke sized podcast. Because like Alex and I were like, wait, who's supposed to say that part? Neither one of us know. It's all right. So, Troy is still gallivanting around Europe. I think it's very important to go for gallivanting as the word. So, I feel like that makes it feel like he's like, galloping around or something.
That was a fun Disney series.
Yeah.
Gallivant.
Fair.
2 seasons.
Fair. Yeah. We are at, Brent is here. Oh, good. Well, now I no longer have fear because Brent is, in fact, here. He, in fact, says exactly that. So, there we go. So, yeah. So, hey, have you been catching up on the Olympics at all?
Nope.
No.
I heard breakdancing is now a sport, or is now in the Olympics. But it's judged, so my opinion of the Olympics and Olympic class sports. I mean, well, the Olympics as just sports is that not to take away from their athleticism or their creativity or their just badassness on the training and to put into it. But I don't think judged events should be Olympic class sports. I think I've said that on this podcast before.
You may have.
Like, did you beat some? Did you beat them? Did you lift more, go farther, go faster, do more reps, throw it farther? Made them tap out in combat. Yes, please. As soon as you get to, we have to judge
gymnastics,
judge that.
Which
I mean,
is
it's amazing stuff.
Judged.
But it's just I don't like it. I honestly think Lacan. I would watch Lacan, Olympic class Lacan. I'd watch that. I don't even like watching most defensing and such either because it's just tag. Just who gets there first? Who cares about the riposte? Who cares about surviving the encounter? Just get there first.
Mm-hmm,
Which, on the one hand, I'm like, yes, you beat them, you got there first. But as a swordsman, I'm like, I'd like that to be a bit more, I don't know. But let's see. Oh, actually, Guy, on the personal note, did you get my present? Because I've not heard from you about my present.
I mean, I got the donuts, if that was what you sent.
Yes.
Because they were the bestest donuts ever.
Excellent. That's
and I promptly went to work the next day, and then went to the work next day, and then went to work the next day.
Fine.
So, yes, I was actually going to talk to you about that because I was like, those were damn good donuts. Where did they come from?
It was on the. It said on the box.
Yeah, okay. Yes, I should say. I know. I know where they came from, but I'm just saying, where did you find? I guess what I should say is, where did you find them?
A local radio station. I call it Lefty Radio. It's KGNU out of Boulder.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that they have, one of their weekly things, is a food segment on the morning show. And the guy who does the food segment is actually a pretty famous food guy here. No,
actually, I really don't really care for Voodoo that much.
Voodoo's fine. If
you
like lots of shit on your donuts.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem I have with Voodoo donuts is I really just like normal donuts, just glazed. I like the chocolate caked, just the normal cake donuts with a little bit of chocolate on top. That's what I like.
And Now, Voodoo, of course, is very famous, and there's a few here in Denver. But the guy's name is John Lendorf on KGNU, and he does food stuff and newspapers and magazines here in town too. He's done it for decades. He's the guy who got me turned on to one of the people who got me turned on to Elevation Ketchup.
Oh yeah. Which is a
Yeah, but
really good ketchup.
so good. But no, it was a National Donut Day, and it happened to be he was like, yeah, go to Knox Donuts. They
Yeah.
do all their stuff fresh. Like they don't ship in anything. I mean they don't ship in dough
Yeah.
from outside sources or glazes or anything. They do everything fresh in house.
Mm.
The donuts I got you were mochi donuts.
That's what I was noticing. They were like mochi donuts, and I was like, I like these. I don't know. I might be moving on to mochi donuts
Yeah, no, like
because I started getting them in Japan, and
mhm.
I was like, these are really good, and I hadn't had any really since then. And then you brought those, and I was like, damn,
I knew you'd love
how
them.
much I love these.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
I was gonna
so
tell you all about it, and instead ended up like telling Mariah or something really weird, like because it was just who happened to be on the phone at the time, and I was like, I gotta remember to tell Alex how much I really love these, and of course, didn't this entire time.
You son of a bitch.
Well,
But
and it's been I think I'm past my threshold of what I can control in life. And so things are starting to get out of control on the edges. And so things are getting tracky problems. So
yeah, so no, so next time you're in town, Brent, go check out Knox Donuts.
yeah,
They're
it
really,
was
really
really good.
Yeah, they're expensive,
I
but they're
appreciate
worth
it.
it. Oh no, I was saying it because like I bought it like if you buy a dozen, you get like you pay for 10, get 2 for free. So I said, can I get a dozen but split them in half? Six packs. They're like, yeah, so I got you glazed mochi donuts, as I knew you would prefer. I got me 6 mochi donuts, 3 of them raspberry glazed, 3 of them lime glazed.
Nice.
So good.
Nice. Yeah, it was funny too because Kevin came over and he said, "Oh, I saw the donuts," and I was thinking of taking one. And I was like, "Yeah, sure, yeah, I'll." And then I ate one. And I was like, "No, you can't have them." I was like, "Nope, sorry."
Yep. I'm the ruiner. I ruin things for people.
Yes,
In that instance, I ruined mochi donuts for Kevin. He did not get them.
right. No, they were really good. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad you reminded me because it's been on my to-do list to say to you for a while. And just, like I said, I think I'm beyond my threshold at the moment and I'm not tracking all the things anymore. It's
Yeah.
fine. This is my last week of summer and then
Right.
summer's over. And I think we go back to a normal schedule and I should be able to track things better starting next week.
On the one hand, I was like, I have to admit, my shadow self was like, motherfucker's not fucking thanking me for those donuts. Fuck him.
I appreciate you being patient with me.
But the other part of me was sort of like,
exquisite donuts.
was actually genuinely concerned whether or not you got them.
No.
I was worried that Lexi found them and.
Right. I am so sorry I didn't tell you earlier. I'm beyond memory maintenance at this point. It's this. I actually had a long discussion yesterday about forgetting to take a certain individual to martial arts because that's also on the fringe.
Right.
So it's all right. We're getting there. I'm trying. It's just that it takes a lot to track that child, and it's taking a lot to track me on this. And we are still fighting all of the government stupid stuff. I'm still mad about that.
Right.
So yeah,
my kid also starts school Thursday, week from Thursday.
Yeah, I believe so for me as well. So anyway, yes, I am very sorry I didn't tell you.
We're like saying his name. Oh, he said his own name, so it's cool. We can use his name.
But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to check to see whether. Yep, mine's the Thursday of next week as well.
Cool.
So, which that one's always an interesting one because I've got a kid in my current passive kids that's in the same school. And so I'm starting to wonder, we're going to start having interesting discussions going on. Am I going to start running into kids in my classes that are like, I know your kid, and stuff like that, because my kid's changing schools, of course, and so yeah. Apparently I'm going to be trying to get the kid into the classes for martial arts all week if I can, with the exception of Wednesday when we have music classes.
Right.
So
cool.
Then,
go ahead.
Oh, I feel bad not telling you about the donuts because they really were really awesome.
I did so in a non-judgy a-hole way.
I appreciate you doing that. I appreciate you not being well, and that was the thing. I was so busy. Everybody who brought me anything for my birthday ended up having to leave it because I just was working all the time or going somewhere or doing something. And it was just like, all I want to do is have a day off,
Right.
So I appreciate you guys doing that. And I appreciate you.
Yeah. No worries, mate. Cool. I did have a question for you. Another question about us geek related. And that was, I know you showed some friends of ours Macross for the first time. Was there anything else in that kind of series, like in your viewing at your place series, that was done the last few weeks that I don't know about?
I'm trying to think because we got together last Friday. However, I think so. I've been having a problem with Macross Plus, the movie, because I don't have a sub version of it.
Son of a.
My only version is Japanese only. And of course, though I don't mind watching it in Japanese only, everybody else does. So, and I don't blame them. So it's been, that was me going.
I've got the OAVs on laser.
Yeah, I've got the OAVs on laser too, but that would be you dedicate in a couple of hours for that, quite a few hours. So I was hoping.
I thought the movie was just the OAVs plus like 15, 20 minutes.
It might be.
Yeah, because those laser discs are just one side. I thought.
Yeah, you're right. They may be.
Because I could have. I mean, God, it's been fucking forever. But I thought I thought it was one side was dub, one side was sub.
Well, I have an alternative concept for it so that we can actually do this. And so if you are interested, I think I'm going to try to do that Friday night. If you are interested in coming over for Macross Plus, the movie. Brent, do you have it subbed or is it in English?
The English dub is good. At least with the OAVs. I don't know about the movie. But
it's not bad.
The cast they got for the English dub is top fucking shelf.
Yeah.
Like I just put it on the dub just when I was like cleaning the house and stuff and just listen to them. But I understand, man.
I'm just one of those people. I like to hear it the way that it was. I mean, especially since I have run into the voice actors now, a couple of them from this. I tend to just be, but I've always been a sub person over dub, even when the dubs are good. The only exception to that one usually is Kiki's. I love watching Kiki's delivery service, but only because Phil Hartman rocks. Right. And it's like, that's just such a wonderful thing. So
cool. Q.
Okay. Well then, Brent, could I get a link to that? And are the English subtitles a second thing? Because I don't think my TV will play it if it's on like a separate track. My TV will just dump that. So, which is fine actually. If you can give me access to both of those, I can play it here and just record it again through OBS, which is what I was going to do anyway, and stuff. So
cool.
That's what I was going to do anyway, just because. Well, I mean, I have 12 copies of the thing. I never feel bad about, doing weird and funky things with Star Trek or Macross, because I have bought the copies legitimately many times over and over and over. of the same thing. And I have like, 27 copies of these things because, I got them in VHS. Then I bought them when they got to DVD. Then I bought them in Laserdisc. You know what I mean? So in that instance, I don't feel bad. I mean, I'd understand if it was a show I'd never bought anything on, but yeah, no, all we're doing is just trying to make it accessible to somebody else. So that's all.
Cool.
But yeah, I'll just figure out a way to burn in the subs for it, and that'll be fine, because that actually would probably save me a bunch of trouble right there. So yeah, we're coming up on the beginning of school, though. That's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a definite thing.
Oh, Kira's awesome. So
Kira's
good. It's on Hulu right now.
Yeah, Akira's not. So the reason we're having a problem at all is that Disney bought the rights to Macross and then sucked it off of the entire internet. So it's nowhere. You can find it nowhere until August 30th, when they're going to release it on Disney, which is fine. But I had already started the Macross system on this whole thing to kind of ramp up for Disney's version, because my thought was when Disney shows stuff, it's going to be, Macross 7 and Delta and Frontier.
Yeah, some stuff you haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing some of Delta and Frontier, which I didn't get to see because I had to leave Japan. So the idea was to kind of ramp up to that so that when we get to that point. But it's been such a fight to just get this one thing. It's like, so. But anyway, yeah, what I'll do is this Saturday, I'll invite you over, and you can, or this Friday night, I'll have you can come over here, and if you're open, and we will watch it now that I have a source that involves Brent.
Yeah. I got a belt test the following day, so I don't know how late I'm going to be out.
Yeah, so does
your Spawn.
Yeah, child.
Your child.
Which reminds me, I guess I'm going to drop them off, and then they're going to just wait. And then if you will give them a ride home, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
If that's okay with you.
Sure. Probably drag them around a little bit. We always have post belt test plans.
Okay, well then I will give them money so that they have cash to join in on the post belt test plans without causing you money.
Okay.
But I have to work, so but I don't work it's not the normal classes, it's the late class that starts at 10. But I still have to get to it, so I can drop them off at like 9:30 and still get to, or 9:15, I guess is probably closer, and then still get to work on time. And then if you can bring them back when you come back or whatever, or after your post test plans, then
no worries. I'd
appreciate that. We're just having problems with, that's part of the problem is. So I guess what happened was at the end of July, all the teachers in my school finished their stuff or whatever, or started school or did their last hurrah summer vacation or whatever, but we're shorthanded. Right. And so I have been wall-to-wall classes.
Making that cheddar.
Yeah. I mean, the good news is that it all is over on Sunday. So, I mean, I still have work, but it's back to the, mild, calm thing. But, I mean, then on the 19th, school starts. So, I already have emails in from a couple of my professors saying, you will need this for class, and you will need this for class, and you will need this. And I'm like, oh, gosh. I'm not ready to get ready for school yet. So that's all right. That's all right. We'll get there. I am glad to start violin lessons, though. Rather, I'm glad to start with the kid doing violin lessons, because I've been learning a lot about violin by watching the kid learn about violin. So
cool. Cool.
Yeah, but the question, Brent, is can I run that through my television somehow? That's therein lies the rub. Although I guess I could do it the same way, just run it through your media server and then just record it through OBS. That'd still work.
Yeah. Or don't you have a PS3 hooked up to the TV?
Not at the moment, but it could be.
All right, because
PS3 has a browser.
Right. It has. I wouldn't trust it though, especially since like it doesn't really do PSN anymore. But put it onto a thumb drive.
Well, the TV takes a thumb drive too.
Oh, okay, there you go.
I mean, there's a USB plug in the back of the TV, but if Brent's putting it onto, that might be it. So I don't know what a jellyfin is, but I'll ask the TV if it does that. It is a smart TV, so we could see whether it'll install jellyfin. Is there a jellyfin for the Roku? Because I do have a Roku sitting out in front of it, so maybe that's a thing. That could be a thing.
Right.
So anyway,
You.
always an interesting thing to talk about is that kind of stuff. Not terribly worried at this point, but
Cool.
So anyway, what's been going on in your life there, Alex? What's going on? What's new in your world?
Busy with work, trying to get to the point where I can set it on cruise control and half-ass it a couple of days a week.
Fair.
But yeah, no, I mean, right now it's whole ass all the time. Did do Ren Fair on Sunday, closing day, Colorado Ren Fair, and I got into a couple sword fights, which was cool. Interestingly enough, I got into both my sword fights fairly early on in the day. Usually it's later on that I sword fight more people, but I think I had at least one person take one look at me and said, "I'm not fighting you," because I had like my long sword on my left hip, my arming sword at the back, my cut and thrust on the right hip, boken in the proper place, a knife at the front, a main gauche in the back, the small of the back. He's like, "I'm not fighting you."
Yep.
I did see Jacques the Whipper briefly. I've seen his show. It was a lot of fun. There's probably a picture on my wife's phone of me totally squeeing all over him when we saw him walking from point A to point B. He was very gracious, and I've seen his videos, his whip videos, and I was like, okay, a whole show this would get tedious, and it's not nearly the whole show. It's like the introduction when he takes stuff from the audience, and beyond that, it's a kind of it's a cool carny vaudeville whip act, and his finale is something you'd have to pay me six figures to do.
Right.
What he does for his finale, holy crap!
Right.
And you know what? Like, honestly, I was like, he's a cute guy. And when I saw him live on stage, I'm like, oh fuck, this dude's fucking hot.
Right.
So yeah, pretty funny. But yeah, no, got a couple sword fights. Still got it. Only had 2 fights, won both of them. Best to 3 or first to 3 on both of them. Out of that, I got hit once between the two combatants. It was fun. One of them was he used my long sword. He requested my boken, so I gave that. And then the other one was a young lady who had an arming sword, so I fought her with my arming sword.
Fair.
Didn't have to do anything too fancy for either of them, but still fun. And wore my kilt out and all that.
Ooh,
it was nice.
I'm still waiting for my kilt.
That seems like a while.
It does seem like a while. I think I ordered it in March.
Yeah, it's been like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, and I did ask for a very specific kilt, so I could see that it takes some time, but still feel like I should check to see what's going on.
Yeah, double check on them.
Yeah.
But yeah, had the kiddo running amok at Ren Fair with some friends of theirs and gave them some running money. So they had a good time. So,
And it says special order in progress. So,
all right.
still says it's in progress.
Yep.
I need them to tell me if it's not going to make it by, say, October, because
Right.
I need that for
Your thing.
for Iacon specifically.
Yeah. My kilt is just a modern style black kilt, brass fittings. And I have a friend who actually is part of a clan and who was the head of the said clan, or the local chapter of said clan, like when he lives in Washington. So I'll have to see what he wants, what his clan is, because I forgot, and join up with it.
Right.
So
So, yeah. I'm going to be wearing Clan Starfleet. That's my battle plan on this one.
Yep.
Because my clan is boring. Boring.
Hmm.
Because I belong to Clan Stewart.
Right.
So,
what are their colors?
Imagine in your head plaid. That's my colors.
Okay. Gotcha. So for your footwear, did you I know you didn't get the Starfleet boots.
No.
But they've got for sale the low rise ones, the cadet ones, as well.
Oh yeah, let me take a look at that and see.
Yeah, I'll see if I can dig them out and send you the link on the private chat.
Yep. They still have the old, or they still have the Fluvong ones or whatever.
Yeah, the Fluvog, the guy who made them.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got such cute shoes, and like the ones I really like aren't in my size. It makes me a sad panda.
That is sad.
Like he's got this pair that I'm like, they're like heeled Mary Janes with like a flared over the instep strap. And I'm like, oh, they absolutely do not come in my size.
Nice. That's just sucky. Although it is sort of the way it kind of goes, I feel like. It's like, oh, look, it's the... oh, yeah, not my size. Gotcha.
So pretty.
Which I have that problem all the time, too. I'm like, oh, look. Oh, yeah, never mind.
Oh, my issues come out. I'm always looking at like women's shoes. Oh, there they are. Found them. Let me get that link for you. Posting into private chat.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
I will move.
They should have your size.
Oh, yeah. See, those are good. Yeah, they are. I like those. Yeah, they do. They do have them in my size.
Okay, it says that they fits a little bit on the small side and the narrow side.
So don't go for 10s.
No. You wear a 10?
Well, ish, give or take.
Okay. I got it.
So, I mean, I'm starting to feel like it's getting closer to 11s.
Mm-hmm. I always start at a 12 and then see where it leads me.
Yeah. That's where I would go for. I'd be going for 11s just to make sure I don't, mess it up or whatever.
I know we're talking up Fluvog, but you got to do the crawl.
I mean,
do it.
It is kind of cool doing the crawl once I find the crawl. There we are. Because Geek Tank is sponsored by Kieran Games, Geekway Homes, The Massage Wizard, and your mom.
Your mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Yep.
That's an important thing.
Cool. So who here has seen Deadpool and Wolverine? Maybe me.
I have not yet, but I want to very badly. It was actually going to be my birthday present, and then I didn't.
Okay, I'm putting these other shoes in here because these are the ones I was talking about. So you can look at them. I'm like, oh, I love these shoes.
Here, I'll put these down here so I can take... Oh, those are nice.
They're so cute.
They are. They are. Those are cute. I like those.
But anyway, yeah, no, I saw it. We saw it. Our friend, one of our friends, and he took his kid, who's a couple years younger than my kid, and I took my kid to go see Deadpool and Wolverine. And we had a great time.
I would say I'm not going to judge.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, true, I was watching way worse than my kid was when I was her age. But I mean, we're of a generation that, rated R movies are marketed directly to us, like the RoboCop Ed 209 toy and stuff. I mean, come on. And also, like, I told my kid, my wife and I were watching Shogun, and our kid was kind of watching it. Like, kiddo, please step away.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is a really cool show, but there's a lot of stuff going on here, and I don't want to have to explain this to you right now. Give it.
Well,
I literally told her. I literally told her 2 more years. When you're 13, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that my kid's at age of which I'd be okay with Shogun, but it's just, I mean, part of it is so hard to explain the politics.
Yeah.
Like, not the politics, the cultural setup, the rig of the culture. You know what I mean? Like, that one's the one.
Yeah, and like I talked to my kid about it a little bit too. It's like, I know we just watched Deadpool and Wolverine, but like you've already seen the other 2 Deadpool movies with me like a couple weeks ago. And I go, the reason why, and I told her flat out, the reason why I'm okay with you watching Deadpool rather than watching Shogun is that Deadpool's a cartoon.
Yeah.
It's a cartoon with naughty language, and the naughty language he espouses, either it's going to go over your head right now and you'll think about it later when you're older, or you've heard it from me.
Right.
So no big deal. But I'm like, Shogun is much more realistic and is not the kind of thing that because of that it's not a cartoon, it's more mature. Right. The stakes are higher in the story and what was going on. And it is historical fiction, so some of the stuff happened. And so I was like, a couple years, kid, we're good. If you still want to hang out with your old man, which is fair. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I don't want to spoil anything. There's at least one point in time when my friend looked, as the kids sitting together on the end for bathroom purposes, if necessary, and our close friend and I sitting closer to the middle. And he's like, "Oh, we're going to see so many fucking classic comic book covers in this next 5 minutes." I'm like, "You got it, buddy." And totally was like comic book cover after comic book cover. Like, I remember that one. And it's like so cool. And it was really, really cool. There was a couple things that I said it's very cartoonish. Honestly, I think it as the best of the 3 Deadpool movies.
Nice.
Like I enjoyed the first one quite a bit. The second one was all right. But for the third one, it does lead directly from the events of the second one, and so it is a little bit, required watching. But it was cool. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, I did. We only saw one trailer. We got it there late enough to only have to see one trailer, and that was for Alien Romulus, or whatever the fuck they're calling it.
Yep. I know.
When I saw executive producer Ridley Scott, I'm like, fuck off. And our friend and I, we to be continued a discussion on how Prometheus is just a steaming pile of burning dog shit. I was like, dude, he's like, "Oh, you got to see this." I'm like, "No, I don't. I don't have to see it." Like, the movie was so insulting. I took it out of the machine after 25 minutes and took it back to the video store down the street. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Actually, might have been actually, it might have been in this house. But yeah, I still took it out for like 25, 30 minutes and sent it back to Netflix or whatever. So.
Wow, Prometheus was that long ago?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't blame. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm just like suddenly having one of those moments of.
Yeah, we old.
Yeah.
It came out in 2012, so we were living in this house. And
But just
Netflix still
barely.
did send discs.
Yeah, because we were living here, but just barely. Same thing.
God, the movie's so bad. Oh my God. So bad.
Yeah.
Like slap myself in the face. So stupid. Yeah. But no, I really enjoyed Deadpool and Logan and Wolverine. Yeah, it's very cool. So go watch it. If you have any inclination to watch it, watch it. It's cool. Not necessarily. I mean, we sprang for the 3D tickets, but it was also a matinee, so it was like 12. I mean, it turned out to be $50 for 4 tickets. It's like, what is these? What is it? 2002? What are we watching? Matrix Revolutions?
Right.
That's amazing.
Wow. Man. But movies, that's a thing. Like, that was a part of our childhood. And it's funny because I keep thinking about some of the last discussions I had with my dad, which were him talking about going to the theater and watching, 4 or 5 movies back to back because they were all 30 minutes long, before the age of television, where effectively you had these serials that they ran and things like that. I mean, like, that was intent, and they were all a nickel a piece. So, he'd save up his nickels and then go down there and, watch all these movies. And I was like, that's and that era is completely gone. And then there's like our version of the theater where we went down there and played at the arcade for a while and then went to the movie. You know what I mean? Like, there's all these things where it's like all of this, every generation has a different version of movies, since they began in the early 1900s. And that's such an interesting thing. And now they're all streaming. And it's like, but there's still sort of a thing. And that's why I kind of like the idea of Alamo and their concept. You go there and get food and stuff like that. That's actually pretty cool because it makes it an experience. It's a thing you're doing.
Yeah. We've seen some stuff at the Alamo, and I've had some things at the Alamo. Like, oh, I wish I could go see that. Like, I didn't get to go see Into the Spider-Verse at Alamo when it came through again a couple months ago, and then there was another one where it was like they did Purple Rain, one weekend only, Purple Rain. I'm like, oh, I'm so fucking busy this weekend, I can't do it,
Yeah.
And it's like shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm into the idea of you starting an arcade, old arcade like One Up.
Yeah, there's a few around town here in Denver. And
Akihabara right up here.
Yeah, Akihabara. There's a place over there by There was a place by Casa Bonita. I don't know if they made it through COVID. There was a place over there at 20th and Youngfield. I'm pretty sure they did not make it through COVID.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's cool. I like arcades.
I don't know how you and I aren't going over to Akihabara more often.
Yeah,
I should do that.
We just don't make the time.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's just one of those things where we just have to get it to work. But
yeah,
I think about that a lot, and I'm like, I really miss just you and me duking it out on a fight game.
Yeah.
I usually lose. Almost always I lose, but that's all right. I enjoy it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that. There's nothing wrong with it. It's kind of like playing Magic with you. I almost always lose.
Right.
But when I win that one time.
Yeah, I don't give shit away.
No. And so when I win, it was earned.
You earned it.
I will lose like 50 times, but that one win, man.
None in Topeka. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, do it.
Yeah. Oh, she wants you to start there.
Yeah, no, it was so funny. Like one of the first times I went up to Akihabara, I went with one of the guys from who used to be on. He's still part of the DJ crew at NDK and stuff. You know who I'm talking about. And we went, and we played a couple things. We both played a fighting game that we're not very good at. It was all right, and then I'm like, oh, they got Showdown 3 here. Let's rock it. And I it was. He did not embarrass himself, but I mean, I'm the best.
Right.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's when I beat you in Showdown, I take that victory very, very you know,
And so
it's hard.
okay, dude. So you very graciously came to my house. Which one of these games is your house? And he cleaned my clock in MVC2, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. He's like, just took me to school, took all
Nice.
my lunch money. It's like, damn, bro.
Which that's fair.
Yeah, I said he came to my house. I showed him what I do.
Yep.
Take me to your house.
Well, and that's the thing. Like my Chun-Li is not that strong. It used to be much better. It used to be so much better with Chun-Li. And then, it just kind of didn't go so well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But recently, we've been playing. I think it's Samurai Showdown. Is it 4? Are we at 4 now? Where are we?
Oh, they're past 4. 4 came out back in the 90s in the arcade. No, there's just a Samurai Showdown game. No numbers or anything. Came out a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
On previous gen systems.
Yeah, because we've got something downstairs that I play regularly, and the problem is I'm getting them all confused now. They're all blurring together, and so like I know which game's which. I just can't remember the names of each game. And the one with Song Mina and Kilik and
It's Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur. That's it. I couldn't think of it. Yeah, we got Soul Calibur, and that's the one that the kiddo and I have been enjoying quite a bit of.
Cool.
So we kill each other like civilized people from time to time in that game and enjoy it quite a bit.
Nice.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They like playing Nightmare.
Yeah.
Which cracks me up every time. So
I remember when I was good at that game. God, I haven't played in years.
Yeah. That's what I'm noticing too, is it's been long enough that even I'm like, I can't really remember the special moves for all my characters. And, you know, and I, as is typical, I still cycle through all of the characters I normally cycle through, and I'm still sucking with Ivy. Like I'm really bad with her. I can't remember how to unlock.
God, you're so good with her.
Yeah. You were excellent with her.
Yeah.
And I can't remember half of her moves. And I'm like, man, I can't even get her to like unlock her sword. And like I used to know all of those things, you know, like back in the day. And I'm like,
yeah,
you remember any of them now?
Yeah. So. Yeah. It's like, yeah, we haven't played much Diablo recently, much D3 recently. I'm almost to the end of the main content of basically at the end of the main content for Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, I want to play that so bad.
God, it's so good. It's so good.
It looks so beautiful.
It is so beautiful. And there is like a trophy for beating it on New Game Plus. I'll absolutely go to Kurosawa mode for that. But I mean, I have the main game. Then there's the DLC that I want to beat, and then I'll do a replay. Yeah, there's that, and then Cobra Kai final season first half dropped a couple weeks ago, and we watched that as a family.
Season and a half behind.
Yeah, and it's good.
Yeah,
a little bit improbable, but it's Cobra Kai.
Well, I mean, really, honestly, so was Karate Kid. So there's that.
Well, so was most of Cobra Kai been, yeah. And no, it's cool. We enjoyed it, but now we got to wait. And then the new Dragon Prince season dropped, and my child has already watched all of it, and we're watching it a little bit together. And it's good. It's good stuff. Once again, no spoilers. There's a character who continues to disappoint in that they do not fucking get it.
Right.
It's like, I'm going to go do this thing now and do the thing. It's like, oh, wow, you just continue to just fuck people's lives up. Yeah, once a fuck up, always a fuck up, you asshole. Hate you. Hate him. I think what else we're doing? I saw a lot of Star Trek stuff hit Netflix.
Prodigy.
I saw Prodigy and a couple other things too. So I was gonna see if Nova wanted. My child. I wanted to watch some Prodigy because I heard good things about it. And then, but yeah, it's like what else was there? It's kind of geeky.
Prodigy is good. It's accessible, but it still has the heart of Star Trek.
Yeah.
So it's complicated. You know what I mean? Like it still is complicated enough that if you're an adult, it's not bad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and like we've been watching The Acolyte, new Star Wars series,
Yes.
which has been pretty good.
We finished Acolyte season
Mhm.
1.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, that was pretty much what I've been hoping to see from a Jedi perspective for a very long time.
Hmm.
And I didn't realize that I had those questions in my mind until I watched Acolyte, and then I was like, I have these questions now. And I have
Yeah.
had these questions since the original Star Wars, about the rules and regulations of being a Jedi and things
Hmm.
like that. And that's one of the things that Acolyte's really picking on, and I love it. I
Okay.
was just talking to my sister about that because Loki is about, not about superheroes.
Hmm.
It's about, in fact, they pretty much take Loki's powers away for, right off the bat, you know. So, I mean,
Right.
Loki is still a superhero, but, and I love that. And so it's like this new left turn. And even the boys, the boys is asking the question of why would you bother to try to follow rules if you had superpowers?
Hmm.
And I'm like, that's an interesting take. I hadn't, until the boys came out, I hadn't actually thought of that. You know, and I'm enjoying that. And I was thinking
Hmm.
about that too. Like WandaVision, that was not about Scarlet Witch and her superpowers. It was about Scarlet Witch and a trauma. And I was like,
Hmm.
that's cool. I can deal with that. And that's what I'm liking
Yeah.
about Acolyte. Same
Yeah.
thing. So there won't be a
Yeah. It's
season 2 of Acolyte.
yeah. I just did a little bit of a look up, and it looks like it was very expensive and not enough viewership. So
That's a
just too
bummer.
bad. I mean, it's the thing that I kind of liked about it, and even though there's stuff there for adults, I liked that it was a Star Wars thing that was actually geared toward kids, but not stupid.
Right.
Right?
Right.
It's actually like my child is actually of the perfect age bracket for Acolyte. So like the leads in the show are just older enough than she is that she can look up to them, but not
Mm-hmm.
so much older that they're inaccessible. Um, and it brings about some kind of things that are interesting,
Yeah.
for them to kind of chew on in their brain.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like one person I saw was like kind of talking about how the what was it? It's like Acolyte is perfectly good Star Wars for kids, and the fact that there's a bunch of middle-aged men who are and specifically female children, and there are so many middle-aged men complaining about it, and it's like, yes, the show's not for you.
Right.
If you want adult Star Wars, go watch Andor.
Right.
It has stuff that middle-aged men care about in there.
Right. And they're diversifying, and they do the same thing with Star Trek. They're doing that as well.
Yeah.
When I watch Prodigy, I don't watch it with my adult Star Wars brain
Hmm.
or Star Trek brain. Sorry, but I do
Yeah.
watch it with my kid Star Trek brain and enjoy it quite a bit.
Right.
It needs more spaceships, though. It
Yeah.
says my kid Starship brain,
Right. No, I was
as
just thinking like
usual.
I was looking up Acolyte season 2, and like someone was like, "Oh yeah, it's like right, like they say it's snake bit. It's like Ryan Johnson's trilogy. It's just gonna fade away." And I'm like, Ryan Johnson didn't get a trilogy. He got one movie.
Yeah.
He got Last Jedi, which is awesome. And like I was like, "Well, what else has Ryan Johnson done?" Because like the movie of his that I love to death is Brick. Brick is a film noir story told in a high school, with the high school kids being the main characters, and it is awesome. It has legit one of the most disturbing scenes I've seen in a film, and it's because they don't actually show a goddamn thing,
Right.
and it is beautiful. The movie is beautiful and awesome to watch, and it's got like a young what's his name, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, in it. And it's from 2005. So great. Speaking about getting movies from the movie store down this 2 blocks away, totally did that. And then of course Ryan did Looper, which I really enjoyed, and Last Jedi. But I didn't realize he was the director of the Knives Out movies. I've only seen the first Knives Out movie. I thought it was all right. I'll watch the second one eventually. But he's got another movie coming out next year named Wake Up Dead Man. I'm like, I'd watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting because, I find it fascinating as a non-Star Wars, I guess, fanatic. I mean, I do love Star Wars, of course, but it's not my core fandom. I didn't mind any of the prequels. I didn't mind any of the postquels. I liked them all. They're interesting. They don't hold the same special place in my heart that the first three will always hold, because I watched Star Wars when I was 8 years old in a theater,
Yeah, I get it.
and so, like, that'll never change in my soul, so to speak. So, but on the same token, I don't mind any of the new ones and all of this vitriol on everything. But even when we talk about Star Trek, there is one Star Trek movie that I just don't ever want to see ever again. And if you like it, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand, like, everywhere.
I like this, and you must like it exactly the same way I like it.
Right. And everywhere I go online, it's like, or here's a great example. We had 2 actors from Discovery who were on their way to some convention, and they just posted that they were at this airport and they got upgraded because they were Star Trek actors.
Oh.
And the people there were Trekkies, and the Trekkies upgraded them to, first class and all this stuff, and all because Trekkies, right? And they can.
Sure.
And so they did. And they were saying, oh, thanks, guys. And they were part of the bridge crew of Discovery, which didn't get a lot of highlight in the show. And it's like this very cute, wholesome post, and all these people have to go, we hated Discovery. Discovery was the worst. I'm like, why do you have to say that? That's not even part of what they were talking about,
You're just jealous because you, as a vitriolic online presence, didn't get free upgraded tickets. Fuck off.
Right? I'm like, because I'm a Trekkie, I'd give them upgraded tickets if I was working at an airport.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'd even give Benedict Cumberbatch upgraded tickets, even though he was in the aforementioned movie that I don't talk about because I hate it. But I like the actor just fine.
I just hate J.J. Abrams' work. I don't know if I hate the man.
They weren't bad.
But if the hand is no different from what it creates, then I hate the man as well. But everything I've ever seen by him, I'm like, what? How is it that you get money to do this stuff?
Yeah.
It's like,
and I think I've always been just kind of like, why did you try with Star Trek? I know that you were trying with Star Trek to get to Star Wars, which is what you really wanted to do. And
yeah, it's like a freaking demo reel. There's so many little shots and stuff that are straight out of Star Wars. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's like, well, I mean, it's clear you wanted to, and it's not horrible. I don't really like the Enterprise in it. As a spaceship nut, I feel like they kind of made a weird shape out of the Enterprise, but that's just me. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
1 and 3 weren't bad. I actually liked 3 quite a bit, but that's mostly because Simon Pegg and I, we see eye to eye.
Yeah, I never saw the third one. I watched. I think I watched the first. I think I watched the Abrams Star Trek in the first 2 in the theater.
Yeah.
In fact, the more I think about it, I absolutely did. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I think you watched the second one with me.
I'm pretty sure I saw it with you.
I know the first one you didn't, because we just came back from Japan. We were
Yeah,
still in
like I,
Texas.
I know I was sitting next to you, and I was like going, oh my god, what the fuck is this? Or, I was like,
And I was sitting there going, I can't believe any of this.
yeah, it was just so fucking terrible. And like the lens flare, it's a stylistic choice. I don't agree with it, but whatever. But man, it's like just his fucking from okay. J.J. Abrams, when he's working in someone else's universe, this is what I've been able to tell. And this is not to excuse the stuff he's made up on his own.
Right.
But when he's working in somebody else's universe, Star Wars, Star Trek, it appears to me, I don't know if this is true, but it appears to me that he goes, oh, wouldn't this be really cool? And he does what he thinks is really cool, but without any consideration for many times even the movie he's making at the time.
Yeah.
Or the larger universe. Like at the end of the second one that he did, it's like, oh, we're gonna go explore strange new worlds, our 5-year mission. And I'm like, I just saw this movie where a guy has a man portable transporter that sends him across the galaxy instantaneously.
Yeah.
What do you need a starship for?
Yeah, that was
J.J. Abrams.
I think
Calling
I feel
J.J.
like
Abrams.
that one and the I promise it's not Khan. And
It's
tone deaf.
Khan with a C-O-N, not a
Yes.
K-A-H-N.
I think that one bothers me a lot, mostly because Ricardo Montalban did such a phenomenal job on that character. And Star Trek has notoriously worked hard not to whitewash. And they literally whitewashed out Khan. And I'm like, what?
Right.
That's not the way Star Trek works. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the way Star Trek has ever worked. And I cannot believe they whitewashed out the character. And I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa.
That's a bad look. Yeah, and
Yeah. That one still bothers me.
Even within the same movie, it's like you see not Khan. He's got giant metal guns and he's jumping like 30 feet and stuff. And like, okay, wow, that's pretty baller there. And then like he punches Kirk and Kirk just gets this stupid I got hit look on his face. I'm like, no, he's dead.
Yeah.
Kirk just died there.
Yep.
Like Khan's fist just punched through his fucking skull. Like, give me a goddamn break.
Yeah, but I think I can't get over just the tone deafness of that particular choice.
Yeah, that's a really bad choice.
That way, and it's a black mark on the franchise, which has worked really hard to be diverse.
Yeah,
and
all these fans who are like, Star Trek got woke. It's like, no, it's always been woke. It's just that now you're no longer necessarily agreeing with what they're saying because that window has moved. People do not get more conservative as they get older. Generally, the window just moves.
Yeah, it'd be like having Uhura be white.
Yeah.
You missed the point. Yeah, missed the point.
Missed the goddamn point. Did I like Lovecraft Country? Kind of. I watched it. Very little of it has stuck with me. Yeah. My spouse really liked the show and also really enjoyed the books, but also enjoyed how they diverged. I never read the books. The most recent Lovecraft kind of film thing that I've watched and really enjoyed was the film adaptation of The Color Out of Space, partially because that is probably my favorite Lovecraft story. It's The Color Out of Space.
Abrams?
I guess so. Well, as long as he wasn't actually involved, just threw money at it, put his name in the credits, that's fine.
Well, I mean, and I mean,
but even so, I guess
his thing.
I guess that might be like, as far as anything I've seen by Abrams, that must be the thing that I like the most, and to me, it was all right.
Functional.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. These are all things that bother me.
Right.
Like, yeah, that's one of the reasons why I just disowned that entire movie. I'm like,
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible.
I remember you and me being there together because, yay, finally we get to go to a Star Trek movie together.
Together,
And-
we've never done this. This is gonna be this is gonna be
Right, this is gonna
awesome.
be
And it's
awesome.
like,
And then it was that movie, and we were both like, like I feel bad for apologizing, but I must apologize for my franchise here.
oh my god, oh my god.
Because I mean, I take ownership of Star Trek, but I apologize for the franchise here.
Yeah. You know, I will say one thing. The one thing that I actually like that J.J. Abrams did, and it's not like a work he did, but it's something he did within a work, and that is the first Star Wars movie he did had the thing I really liked that he did in it was that he subverted certain expectations
Mm-hmm.
and not like what was going to happen or anything or good versus evil or light versus dark, whatever, but like he subverted certain things that you expect that went one way in, like, say, the original movies, and he changed. Like when Ray leaves the planet and the big ship swallows the little ship, we're used to from the very first scene in the very first movie. Oh shit, this is bad.
Right.
Star Destroyer, Princess Leia, blah 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 blah. And it's like, no, this time we're going to flip it, and that's a good guy ship, you know. And I'm like, oh, that's clever. I like that. That's cool.
Mhm.
And I did like how when there were, I remember I've only seen the movie a couple times when it first came out, but like when there were some cameos, like, oh yeah, this is going to be another hollow chess set. They didn't like, here's the hollow chess set and here's the camera panning around it. We're going to spend 45 seconds on this thing. Don't you recognize it from the original movies? Don't you love it? Don't you want it? It was like, oh yeah, there it is. Cool. Moving on.
Yep.
And I'm like, good.
Yeah.
And like another thing that I thought was really cool was like when Rey's fighting Kylo and the lightsaber gets stuck in the snow and you start to see it shake with the force. Like, oh my gosh. You see Kylo going for it. It's like it's going to be like a Luke thing, you know, but it was a Rey thing instead. I'm like, okay, I'm digging this.
Yeah, there were some nice twists to it.
Yeah,
I really have to say that I liked the first Star Wars movie in that it mirrored the original Star Wars movie a lot. So I dug that. I thought that was cool. It mirrored.
Yeah.
It did a lot of mirroring in that same way. Sometimes it did exactly the same, and then just like you said, sometimes it went a different direction, and I dug that too.
Yeah,
but yeah,
so it's like, you know what? Props to you and or your editors, the real unsung heroes of most filmmaking. But yeah, it's cool.
Not wrong. Yep, that's a thing. It is definitely a thing. So anyway, yeah, I guess we will be. Oh, did you hear about the new 5e Player's Handbook?
I have heard a few things. I have not done the research I want to. One thing that I liked was that in the stock book they had a bard that was not music or oratory focused. They do have the same kind of like College of Lore and the College of Valor, but one of the other colleges that's stock in the book is the College of Dance.
Oh,
which I was like, cool.
That makes sense.
Because I mean, it did like I had to go to a source book to not have a singing centric bard.
Yeah.
A separate source book. So I'm glad that they kind of folded that in there. I know Ginny D's done some videos on the new edition, including talking to one of the designers and being like, "Why should I get this? Defend your product," kind of thing.
Yeah,
I haven't watched that yet, but I'm interested in seeing it.
I was seeing an article that had a video in it about the new Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the thing that I think is really interesting is it was one of the designers talking about it. And
yeah,
what he was saying was in the 2014 version of it, the Rangers are kind of confused. And now we've straightened them all out because they are Rangers. They're designed to range. So their skill set now is, able to swim farther and climb farther and things like that, because technically speaking, that's what they did. And
what
I
they
was like,
do.
oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like dialing it in a little bit more. They didn't change all they I mean, some of the stuff they changed dramatically, but they tried to keep it so that it wasn't so you could retcon your current characters that were in
Yeah.
play. The
Mhm.
idea was that it wouldn't devastate your character and destroy it, you know.
Yeah.
But the other thing that was interesting somebody had said was he said the host of that particular thing said I'm known to pick up role-playing books, rule books, and just read them.
Mhm.
I'm never going to play the game, but I enjoy reading the books. And some role-playing books are really good, and the 5e book was a complete disaster and very, very difficult to read. And this new version, they've straightened it out so it's not so difficult to read. Like they've straightened it out so it's got a path through the book that you can follow that makes sense and everything like that. So I'm kind of looking forward to that because I'm one of those people too. I just love to sit and read rule books. I don't
Mhm.
remember the
Same.
rules. I can't remember the rules very well. I don't remember how it works, but I enjoy reading it. And something about reading the books, I imagine characters and
Mhm.
rules or characters and games and stuff like that in my head, and it sparks the thought process. So I do enjoy reading them. So I'm kind of looking forward to getting my own copy so that if nothing else, I'll just read the book and enjoy it. You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
I do know that cats now have dark vision again, which was a weird thing. Apparently, rangers and wizards who had a cat familiar, the cat could not see in the dark. Unlike, you know, real cats.
Mhm.
So they fixed that.
OP guy. OP.
It was like that is a silly thing I had never noticed, but I guess that was a thing that they did in 5e that they changed from 3 that was
OP.
bizarre. And that was like, and people still just don't know why they killed the dark vision in the cats. Because they should have dark vision. That should be the way it works.
OP, buddy. OP.
Yeah, I think rangers now have like I was trying to remember. They get hunter's mark as a hunter's mark as a free spell now.
Okay.
So it's free. You can only do it a certain number of times during the day, but they really wanted hunter's mark to be separated from your normal spell pool,
Yeah.
so that you
Because
wouldn't
everyone was
have
taking
to.
Hunter's Mark.
Right.
Like, well, if
And
it's
you
central to
use it
the.
so much,
Yeah.
you know, and if you have to waste your freaking slots on it,
Mhm.
so instead they've made it be a free magic action, but you can only do like 3 of them at a time or 4. I don't know how many. I assume it's by level. So you can
Okay.
do it once a day at level 1 or whatever, you know,
Mhm.
however that goes. But the other thing that they changed is like all of the connections with the animals and familiars and stuff like that, because I actually thought of this when he said it, and I thought, what an interesting concept. But as they move through to level 18, 19, 20, and up there in the top,
Mhm.
they get closer and closer to just being part of nature.
Hmm.
And I think that's an
Okay.
interesting concept. So the spells that they're getting and things that they're getting are moving them towards just being part of nature. So,
Cool.
and I actually thought, wouldn't that be an interesting thing if every character, once you reach level 20, you became an icon of some sort of that thing, you know?
Mhm.
You know, the wizards ultimately at level 20 just evolve into being the magic, you know,
Mhm.
sort of thing, like that kind of thing. So yeah, it'd be kind of, and the rangers turn into Fae, you know, and like things like that. I thought that'd be kind of cool, you know. I
Cool.
thought about that later, but yeah, exactly. I love to read the fluff. So
Right
I'm
on.
looking forward to picking up a copy of that someday. I don't know
Cool.
when, but I'll pick up a copy of it someday.
Yeah, I'll see about getting it used. I still don't want to give TS Wizards Hasbro any money for anything. Fuck them.
That's fair.
So yeah,
I'm not
I'm still,
pressed either.
yeah, I'm still smarting over what they did last Christmas. So
Yeah.
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 yeah, it's always fun in the Earth Dawn game that I was a part of for 8.5 years. Our characters ascended to become basically ascended to what would be in universe as close as you get to godhood as you can.
Yeah.
They don't have gods, they have the passions. So all our characters became passions at the end. It was cool.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Be an interesting thing. I'm curious if so the designer alluded to that, and I'm curious if when I pick up the book, it's going to show that that's kind of where they went, because it made my brain spark and think that. And I've noticed that usually whenever somebody says something and I go, you know, it'd be a really good idea, they've already thought of it, and they just don't want to leak that information yet. It's typically what I've noticed. Like they'll spark something in my brain. I'll go, hey, you know what would be really cool? They've already thought of it a long time ago.
Right.
I'm just
we are over time, and I think that this is the kind of conversation that we should definitely have Troy in on.
I agree. We should talk. We should wait till Troy gets back, and then we should talk 5e. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting to our game. That's actually what I was going to say. So,
yep.
But I'm going to let you go so that I can go and do that.
You got to go. I got to go.
Talk later. But because we are overtime. Although my stylus is dead, and I'm trying to find the power cord for it, so I haven't been able to charge my power cord. So my shows have been kind of Spartan because they're difficult for me to do. That's all right. Cool. All right. Well, that's all the time it looks like we've got today. But I appreciate you guys being here, and I appreciate Brent being here. And I appreciate you coming on the show with me, of course, Alex, as usual. And as I push all the buttons so I can make sure I'm ready to go. There we go. That's now all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us. I've been Guy.
And I've been Alex.
And this is Geek Tank.